What's going on YouTube? My name is Mr. Crippled, and today I want to go ahead and talk about Hou Yi. Now, before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you'd like to keep up with any future content, we'll be leaving a link to my Twitch and my Discord in the description below. Okay, so Hou Yi was talked about a lot today during Titan Talk for his reveal, and he's coming into the game with a lot, and his aspect is a little broken right now, so I'm not really gonna be able to showcase that too well. But I wanted to go ahead and give y'all an overview about what all the changes they're giving him. First being, and why I'm in here first, is his passive, Sun Touch. Now, if you could see right here, you'll see that it's activated whenever you're critically hit or you take 20% of your health in a single blow, making him Sun Touch. This will actually reduce the active cooldowns of your abilities by 2 seconds, and it applies a mark on the person who did all the damage to you. If you don't know, in Smite 1, marks were basically everything about Hou Yi because his marks gave him a stun, it gave him a slow, and a knockup. And so having instant access to this as a defensive, rather than having to place the mark on them first and then trying to fire off your kit, is a very welcome change. And then he still keeps the passive ability of not being able to be crit while he's sun touched. Unfortunately, again, the tooltips are broken right now. We can't really see the exact numbers for this, but just know, I think before it usually lasted for about it lasted for a while. I want to say like 10 seconds. So this is a pretty massive buff. The other things I'm going to go ahead and hop into jungle practice for. So the first thing that I wanted to go ahead and talk about, as usual, is his first ability, his 1. Now, it does ricochet still. The big thing that Hou Yi is coming into the game with is that now he has intelligence scaling on all of his abilities. They did go out and say that the intelligence abilities or the intelligence scaling is going to be lower than your strength scaling, and for a reason. I personally don't think it's a really big reason, and I don't really think it's going to be all that great. But the reason being is because the first thing you get, especially with your 1, is that you will gain an extra ricochet bounce. You'll get extra ricochet bounces depending on how much intelligence you have, and your CC gains extra effects, or has stronger effects rather, when they are marked. So when they're marked, you have more intelligence scaling, your stun will last for about, I think they said 0.6 seconds longer, which is about 2 seconds. Your dive bomb, knock up and knock back, are going to be a lot stronger, and the slow you get off your ultimate is also going to be a hell of a lot stronger. Another big change that Hou Yi is seeing coming into this game is to his 3. So if you've played Smite 1 before, you know that whenever he used his 1, he couldn't really move. It went a fair distance away, but at the end of the day, you were still really immobile and didn't really cover so much distance. So while it's a good engaging tool, it was never a good chase down or a good runaway move. But now, during the casting of this ability, you can actually move. So, in theory, you have a way better chase down ability. You have a better get out of jail free card by turning your camera around and just holding forward. It's better, and your engagement can be made from a little bit farther away. So I think that's a really massive change for him. But the biggest change is that now Hou Yi has a wall on his ultimate. So if you can see here, or as you can see here, you see the ability, you see that big circle at the end. Whenever he casts it, the first stun stays on the ground and becomes an active wall that nobody can pass through. It's a very huge change, and the best part about it is, let me go ahead and reset the cooldowns, is that the ultimate wall, you can ricochet everything. It gives him a lot more set play for himself. That way he can actually get his own ricochets without having to rely on being really close to the wall to be able to get the second bounce off of the 1. Now he can just ult you, put the mark on you, ult you, and then instantly 1 you to be able to get a huge ricochet stun, big damage off the ultimate. It's a lot. You don't have to worry too much about the positioning anymore. You can just ricochet off of your ultimate. Another change that he's going to be getting, or rather the aspect that he's going to be getting that unfortunately is broken, is that now it's your 1 can no longer ricochet off the walls anymore. However, your autos now ricochet, which is cool in theory. What's supposed to happen too now, why I think this is cool, is whenever there are two enemy gods next to each other, right? Whenever there's two enemy gods next to each other, if one of them is marked, your autos will actually ricochet between them both. Again, it's bugged right now, as they said, but if one of the enemy gods is marked, your one will now automatically ricochet to the nearest target. Let me go ahead and show you at least a visual. Mark them, attach your one on them. As you can see, it bounced directly towards the other Kukulkan and put a mark on them. So, and then your ricochet, your basic attack should ricochet. Jesus, I cannot talk today. Your auto attack should ricochet off that target onto the next person. Again, it is bugged right now, so I'm not really going to be able to showcase it as of this moment. Some further testing is definitely going to be needed, but Hou Yi seems very, very exciting, and I cannot wait for him to drop on Tuesday next week. My final thoughts on him, I think he's going to be a very amazing hunter. I don't think that the intelligence scaling is going to make much of a difference. I can't foresee somebody building intelligence over strength, to be honest, because under attack. Especially with the ult changes, the only way for your one to do massive amounts of damage with an intelligence build is if it bounces off of like the fourth or fifth hit, which not only takes a lot of setup time, but it's not something that you can always rely on. So it would be better to just build strength and just two-tap somebody with a regular strength build if you're going to be going for an ability-based one. But those are just my thoughts on it. Again, further testing is definitely going to be needed. These are just my initial thoughts on him. Let me know what you guys think about him in the comment section below, and let me know if you guys are excited for the next god being Janus. Y'all, thank y'all for watching, and y'all take care.